We are here with Justin. What's your last name? Munoz?
Munoz, yeah.
All right, yeah. And he is in
a 2010 ISF.
Yeah.
And yeah, full track now, no longer driven on the street, carbon fiber everywhere. We've got a carbon fiber trunk, carbon fiber rear doors, carbon fiber wing.
And you were saying these doors are actually, these are like one-off, so there's 10 of them in existence?
Right, exactly. Throughout here and Canada.
Awesome.
So, and the same thing is going to happen to the front door soon. We've got, I no longer run fender liners. I've got fender vents, and it just goes all the way through.
Very
so those
cool.
are pretty good.
And then what wheels are you on?
I am on SM10RS Apex wheels. Use them for the track. They're nice and light. And they're 18 by 10.5, and so they're pretty good. And I'm on RE71RS tires, which are on their 13th heat cycle, so it's pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, and you were saying you've actually been on these tires all season.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So I'm on my third set of tires on my car, just so you guys are aware, and that gets costly. Let's see. So what do you have for front aero here?
I have APR canards. I have MFR front splitter, side splitter, and rear diffuser.
And then you got this really cool, like, looking hood vent. That's nice.
No, totally. It totally excavates heat pretty well for both the radiator and the actual headers. They're actually fully functional. It's pretty great.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice these. So yeah, you got this as well.
Yeah.
And then the fenders, you got some just pretty basic side skirts, but who makes those?
MFR. So it's a full kit.
Let's go onto this wing, huh?
Yeah, this is the APR GTC 300 wing. So it's pretty good. And this is actually made for a Cadillac CTSV, but retrofitted to fit on the back of my frame rails. So this is actually fully attached.
And it looks like it fits the car perfect. Like it looks super good.
None of this had to be adjusted or anything. It actually fit pretty well. And you can actually tow the vehicle from these actual stands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're onto the frame rail, so it's all good.
Yeah, so you actually have to pop your wing off these bolts to get this trunk open. Off. But this is all carbon.
Yeah, carbon. And then the trunk area houses the fuel cell. So,
that is awesome.
Yeah, run fully 85, and all the weight is now behind the rear wheels. So, yeah. Awesome.
How much power are you running?
I'm doing about 412 to the wheels.
Okay.
Running full E85.
And what is that over stock?
The stock on a dyno, you'd probably get like 380, 385.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good amount of torque, but the really important part is when I make the torque. So not only does this have an ECU tune, but it has a TCU tune for the transmission.
Gotcha.
So this actually will now shift at 74.
Okay.
So we can bring it all the way up to 7,400. And
that's sweet.
The stock red line is 6,800. So we got a pretty good amount of room there.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then as far as what's under the hood, so like mods wise there?
Like full bolt on, so like not colder intake, and full headers back, equal length, so it sounds pretty sweet. Other than that, just a ECU tune.
Let's pop into the interior real quick and just check that out.
I have Profi XL seats on both sides, and Racetech harnesses, Sparco steering wheel, custom mount for my Garmin Catalyst.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So it's pretty good.
And then this does all Lexus things still. Telescoping, lowers, and all that.
Most definitely, it's telescopes still.
So we still got the fanciness. And then how about these floor plates?
The floor plates are custom made by Race Factory. So they built that humongous dead pedal for me, so I have somewhere to put my fat foot.
That's great. Yeah, it makes such a difference. It's like one of those things you wouldn't think that really matters, but then when you have it there, you're like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's a creature comfort. That's what it's all about, especially when you drive a track car, right? Like, oh, I still have AC.
Oh, yeah. So, that's perfect.
Yeah, when we're out there.
So brake-wise, calipers look to be stock. Rotors are maybe upgraded.
Actually, the front calipers are from an RCF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're upgraded. 380 mils, if I'm not mistaken.
6 piston.
Yeah.
And then what pads are you running?
I'm running Carbotech XP20s.
XP20s.
Yeah,
okay.
which now that the car's a whole lot lighter, I do not need such an aggressive pad, and I found that out today.
Mm.
Yeah, it's actually better that I go maybe XP12, back it off a little bit.
So were you feeling just too much initial bite? Like, was it locking up?
Initial bite, I'm getting like entry oversteer, and that shouldn't be the case. It should be nice and well balanced, especially since the car is light now. So I think I need to back off the pad.
What compound are you running in the rear? Same? Okay. So maybe, I mean, have you ever tried staggering compounds as well?
I thought about it, like keep running the XP20s here and then XP12s up front.
Yeah.
And see what that's like.
Yeah. Because, like, for example, on my car, not Carbotech, but G-Lock, I'm running R18s up front.
Oh,
and then I'm running G-Lock R12s in the rear.
Okay.
And that seems to be a really good aggressive initial bite balance for me. But, like, I stepped it down to R16s up front and R8s in the rear. No bueno with our weight on our cars. Like, on East, I was like, holy crap. Almost rear-ended my buddy because I stepped it down from, at that time I was R18s to R10s. And then when I went up to the R12, that just gave it a good balance. So, I don't know. Brake pads are one of those things, guys, if you're not aware.
Yeah, you gotta play with the compounds.
And they're not cheap.
No, they're not. Especially when you start to get into, you know, track function race pads.
How do you do on consumables for brakes? Like, are you a season for pads? Are you...
I'm 2 seasons for
pads.
2
seasons? Okay, cool.
And that's like a time attack is as aggressive as you can get, you know, on some pads. So, no, it's really, really good.
That's awesome. And then I know you said you've taken a lot of weight out of this thing, obviously. What was the stock weight?
Original weight was 3890.
And now it is?
It is now 3460. And I will not stop weight reduction until about 3,100 pounds.
Yeah.
So it should be pretty good.
That's going to be sweet. And
it is.
Are there a lot of other people racing these on track?
I could literally count on my one hand how many people actually race these. Yeah. And that's just the entire West Coast. Dang. I can count on one hand.
Yeah, I have to say, I drove one of these back in the day, stock form, CarMax. Took it for a rip. I loved it. It was a great car. So.
They're addicting vehicles.
Yeah, very cool.
A very dependable Japanese V8. That sounds sweet. I can't, you know, thank it enough for being as dependable as it's been on track.
Hell yeah.
Love the car.
Thanks so much, Justin.
Thanks
for showing us. You got an Instagram if someone wants to follow you?
Needs a Justin Inc. Normally I have it on the car, but you can't see it.
All right. I'll leave it right down here, guys, wherever my hand is. And then we'll put a link in the description.
I appreciate that, man.
Sick. Thanks,
Sick
dude.
driving today, bro.
Hell yeah. You too. Later.
Take care.